I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. Living the days of the torture, torture. Torture, torture. what you want. Say 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 what you want. Who's gonna save me? 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 Say what you want. 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 Who's gonna save me? 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 dreams I made. We'll go far away, no, no, no. Don't make me say no, no, no. We'll go far away, no, no, no. Don't make me stay. We can shoot for the stars together. We can make it last forever. Oh, 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 oh. We wanna see the moon and planet. Wanna make it last forever. Oh, 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 oh. We'll go far away, no, no, no. Don't make me say no, no, no. We'll go far away, no, no, no. Don't make me stay.
about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Yeah, guys. Thank you.
It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna make that joke, so I'm gonna give you guys about an hour after ending this conference to learn how to use ETHBoston before I liquidate all of you. Would that be funny?
Remember to talk a little bit, like, pace yourself a little bit better.
It's hard. I lost so much sleep. I slept really well last night. Way better than yesterday. You probably looked there too. I basically died. I was just like. It was like, dude, now I'm with this compound shit. Don't do that. Whatever.
Make sure you mention the Microsoft Hawks and the full name.
Oh, massive. Yeah, Microsoft Macro Assembler. Okay. Any other points you can make? What was good about that? As fast as possible in one query.
There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind. Stacking money like 365. There's a lot of things on my mind.
Check, check. Okay. Hello, everybody. So clap once if you can hear me. Yeah. That was too many times. Clap 3 times if you can hear me. You're done. Yay. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. We're at the end here. Who all slept in the room with the air mattresses? Yeah. I slept there for 10 hours Friday night. So I was tired. I was really tired. But now I am awake. So thank you all for being here. We're going to take about an hour, mostly to celebrate the end of the hackathon and also to showcase some of the winning teams. But before we do any of that, we actually are going to do a musical performance. So with that, I want to welcome Ivy to the stage to come out and start his musical performance. Let's welcome Ivy.
1 2 1 2. Hi everyone. My name is Ivy. I'm from Manhattan, New York. Okay, represent. I am an Ethereum Foundation DEF CON 4 scholar, and today, that's right. Be proud. Yes.
I'm your hype man. Yeah.
Thank you. And today I have something very special. Special that I want to share with you. It's a song about blockchain. It's a song about crypto. It's a song about proof of work, proof of stake. Everyone participate. It's something, a little bit about myself. I was at Cornell University, and I studied fintech, and I'm also Jamaican. And, Bob Marley and the Bob Marley fans. I decided to harness my skill set and also my background to create a song, something for the community, something the community would enjoy. And did just that. It's a 4.5-minute song, and the title is Blockchain. And if it's okay, I'd like to share it with you today. Okay, awesome, solid, wonderful. Before we jump in, let's take a hot second to thank Jacob, Andrew, Reese, the organizers, ETHBoston, Ethereum Foundation. Let's just give them a big hand for throwing a great event. Come on. Woo! Wonderful. Okay, awesome. So we're going to get the audience engaged. We're going to get started with a quick callback. Repeat after me. When I say Satoshi, you say Nakamoto. Satoshi? Nakamoto. Satoshi? Nakamoto. Okay, all right. We're going to split down the middle. Right side, just quiet down. Left side. This is your chance. When I say Ethereum, you say network. Ethereum?
Network.
Ethereum?
Network.
Solid, solid. Okay, left side, quiet down. Right side, you gotta show them up. All right, you ready? Here we go. When I say Harvard, you say college. Harvard?
College.
Harvard?
College.
Solid, solid. Okay, all right. Right side, quiet down. Left side. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? They beat you. But listen, listen, listen. Everyone loves a good comeback story. This is your chance. When I say DEF-CON, you say 5. DEF-CON?
5.
DEF-CON?
5.
Wonderful. Excellent, excellent. All right, left side, stop. Right side. Personally, you're my favorite side. I want you guys to win, so this is the last one. All right, knock it out the park. When I say check the, you say blockchain. Check the?
Blockchain.
Check the?
Blockchain.
Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. All right, are you guys ready for the song?
Yeah.
Hold on. Are you guys ready for the song?
Yeah.
Listen. I'm not at Stanford and I'm not at Yale. I'm at Harvard, at ETHBoston. Are you ready for this song? DJ, please drop that track.
What is internet anyway?
Internet is that massive computer network, the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
Yeah. IV, locally, IV. See these lots coming for the free. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. It's a global network, nothing will be the same. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. Our fintech revolution more intense than a hurricane. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. Satoshi made Bitcoin, remember Nakamoto's name. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. It's time to celebrate, please spray the champagne. Altruistically setting all my people free. Always huddle and protect your private keys. Mining cartels, watch those minor fees. Late to the game, CBO and CME. 51% attack, increased security. Functional programming in solidity. 7 network effects, so many synergies. Power nap, then I code in Atom and IV. In code we trust and cryptography. First we compile, then we can party. My team is ambition, merit, and diversity. Global impact for this society. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. Proof of work, proof of stake, everyone participate. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. You can be a full node or SPV, that's lightweight. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. Transaction is confirming, now you just gotta wait. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. For the code on GitHub, then we just propagate. Borderless, international in scope. Decentralized, break the financial rope. Distributed like mining isotopes. Permission, let's give all my people hope. Genesis block, January 09. Generated at an essential time. All these defaults, no one can spare a dime. Housing crisis, the Great Recession was a crime. In my dorm straight, mining on my A6. You on Coinbase trying to buy all the dips. On our way to the moon, lunar eclipse. Shout out Adam Smith and modern economic. I have the tree commandment. Thou shalt not be charged high fees. Thou shalt not be centralized. Thou shalt contribute on GitHub for a price. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. It's a global network, nothing will be the same. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. Fintech revolution more intense than a hurricane. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. Satoshi made Bitcoin, remember Nakamoto's name. Check the blockchain, check the blockchain. It's time to celebrate, Please spray the champagne. Spray the champagne. Remember Nakamoto's name. Put Satoshi in the Global Hall of Fame. Spray the champagne. Remember Nakamoto's name. Put Satoshi in the Global Hall of Fame. Spray the champagne. Remember Nakamoto's name. Put Satoshi in the Global Hall of Fame. Spray the champagne. Remember Nakamoto's name. Put Satoshi in the Global Hall of Fame. Ivy. Thank you so much for having me. Please help me welcome back to the stage the organizers so that we can continue with the closing ceremony for ETHBoston.
Thank you. Let's give him one more round of applause. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that was sweet. That was fun. So, on to other news. We're at ETHBoston, and that was Ivy, by the way. Where's like your Instagram or something, you know? Or your Twitter? Or...
Invest for Young.
What, say again?
It's Invest for Young.
Invest for Young.
Invest, INVEST, BERY.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just Google him. There we go. And this is me, and I work at MIT, and the people who are here were all of you. So we had over 400 attendees, and remember that almost more than half of these folks are new to the ecosystem and we're learning this weekend. So that's awesome to see all of this in all of the hacks that we got. There were 55 total submissions, which is a lot, with a bunch of names that are hard to understand what you do. But thank you all for your submissions. This is honestly like a pretty high ratio of attendees to submissions. So that's cool. And the finalists, I'm going to name them all out and let's give them a round of applause. So it was Zero Pool, Vend ETH, eMasm, Vitus Match, Anon Hero, and Swan Die. Woo! Yeah, and if you are one of those teams, what you should do is you should stand up and start walking over here, unless you're already there, which I think many of you are. And so, oh, no, there we go. And what's going to happen? Yeah, woo, walk in that direction. Yeah. Yep. Okay, you said Vendy first. And so each of these teams is going to have, this is just like the celebration time. So they're going to come up and they will have 4 minutes, and I will cut you off, by the way, at 4 minutes. Also give you a 1 minute sign. And you have 4 minutes to present, and then we will give them a round of applause. So with that, we're actually going to do Vend ETH first, and then the rest. So let's welcome Vend ETH to the stage. Woohoo!
Yeah. Where can we plug it? Oh, awesome. Give me the account. Yeah. Now we are not going to do that. Yeah. So just for this, let's make sure the camera gets it, so it should be see. It wasn't the best idea to make us go first, actually.
So you can tell why we're doing them first. It's because they have some hardware here. Yeah. So give us a quick second to work through this.
Sorry guys for the inconvenience.
You're good.
Maybe you can tell them a joke.
Yeah. So what is a funny joke to tell people?
What do you call a bear with no teeth?
What do you call a bear with no teeth?
A gummy bear.
A gummy bear. Who else has a joke?
Why did the old man fall into the well?
Why did the old man fall into the well?
Because he couldn't see that well.
Because he couldn't see that well. This is great. Let's have more dad jokes from the front.
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When the punchline is apparent.
When the punchline is apparent. Yeah. Let's see, you got one more?
Too many.
Oh, we got one other in the, let's. Oh, he likes it, but he never laughs. I like telling dad jokes, but he never laughs. There's one other one.
What did the crypto miner say when he created his first Bitcoin?
What did the crypto miner say when he created his first Bitcoin?
I have an announcement.
I have an announcement. Announcement. I assume that's a joke. Yeah, okay. If one final joke. Anybody else have a joke? What? Craig Wright is Satoshi. That is a good joke. For those of you who are not aware, yeah. That is a joke. Watch out for crypto Twitter, people. You're good. Okay. Are you guys connecting anything here? No. Okay, let's welcome them to the stage one more time, Vendy.
Hi everyone, so I hope you had a great hackathon and I hope you're not too tired. So we are Vendith and this is a project I've created with Alex and another teammate, Luis, but he's not here, he has to take a bus. So basically what is our project, it's a crypto vending machine. It's very simple. And the idea was to use, at first an iPad, but it died this morning, so we turned this into a mobile app-based application, and we are just going to demo you the thing very simply. So basically, you go to our website, www.vendings.com. Don't do this right now, please. Otherwise, otherwise the demo is going to be screwed up. And basically, there is like all the product we are selling right now. So you have the choice between 8 same protein bar, and then you can click on the one you want and pay with different cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, or we use also Coinbase Commerce to pay with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other stuff like that. And you can just hit the pay button, and then you can easily pay with Squarelink, Taurus, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, etc. Don't do that also because I fucked up. I forgot the network ID, so you will be charged real money. Well, actually do that. And I'm just going to show you a quick demo. So I've hit the button MetaMask, and it's going to trigger transaction. Well, it shouldn't work since it's a demo, but it's not working, obviously. Anyway. Okay, I can let you explain the rest of the things while I'm going to struggle. Okay.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is that there is a Arduino controller behind the vending machine that controls servos inside, and we have a backend program running on his laptop that was originally supposed to be running on a Raspberry Pi, but due to the way the Wi-Fi works here, we couldn't connect it. So yeah, that listens to transactions or a product purchase event on a vending machine smart contract, and when it detects that, it'll dispense the appropriate product. So there's 2 smart contracts. One is a vendor management contract, which is unique to every vendor that sells a product through the vending machine, and it allows them to specify the vending machine the product is sold at and the price. And there's the vending machine contract, which the idea is that each vending machine has its own contract associated with it, and vendors can choose to register with whatever vending machine they want. Yeah, and when the transaction comes in, the smart contract has two ways of like paying for or handling a payment. In the case of like Ethereum transactions, it'll send the funds to the vending machine contract, which then forwards the funds to the vendor's contract. But in the case of like with Coinbase Commerce and Bitcoin payments, you can't like send Bitcoin to Ethereum smart contract. So we have a backend service running on a VPS in the cloud that listens to webhooks from Coinbase Commerce's API and then calls a backend purchase function, which is basically like a delegated purchasing system that fires the appropriate events to dispense the products, and then the backend can, will forward the funds to the appropriate party.
And yeah, basically this is the project right now. So if someone wants to try to trigger something, you go to the website like with MetaMask Mobile, and you go to Robson Network and try to order like the main first thing with Ethereum. Basically, so this is what we created, and it was very fun and hard at the same time. We had some very good surprises and other not, like soldering all the parts for the Arduino outside in the night in a corner with cardboard around us to avoid the wind. Or for example, this box that I found in a trash just 2 blocks from here. So it was a really cool stuff, and I told, like we discussed, and I was saying, I'm a bit disappointed because I wanted to do a lot of stuff with secret contracts and be able to buy NFTs secretly with Enigma and Aztec and stuff like that, with Scale sidechain and XDAI, for example. But it was a big challenge just to create this, so I'm pretty proud of it, and I think you're proud too. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That's awesome. Either or. Thank you. And if someone wants to go to vendeth.com/Robston, you can get a free, there's one more protein bar in number 1, slot 1 is the one. Oh, it's unplugged. Never mind. Okay, so with that, let's welcome Zero Pool to the stage. Woo! And you're looking for a dongle. Yep. Here you go. And can you pick up here? I'll hold this. Did you find it? Yeah. Sweet.
Hi, how's everyone?
Really good.
Good. We also we had a lack of sleep. We just stay here, but yeah. Nick, you ready?
Yeah. I just want to add that we are very shy, and can you please applause to us a bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, privacy is very important for us right now, and actually we decided to make small impact to it and build a Zero Pool. What is that? Actually, it's a way how you can make truly anonymous transactions on Ethereum, and also we use zero knowledge for that. I also want to add that right now it's also in alpha version, and as any demo is not working perfectly, but we are actually going to make it happen on the mainnet soon. So let's start. Do somebody knows about Tornado Cash?
Yes.
It's a great tool, but actually we are pretty the same, but actually we are not a mixer. How actually works Tornado Cash? It's just a mixer that mix all transactions that come to this smart contract and just use ZK snarks to mix it. You have a fixed sums, and actually you don't have atomic swaps or any UTXO-based model over it, but we have. So what are actually there is a big difference between anonymous transactions and mixed transactions. And we have anonymous transactions, and actually we have UTXO model that is not trackable by anybody. Even the creator of this UTXO can't track it. So how it works? We have a bunch of cryptography stuff there. All of that is just friendly compatible, snark friendly compatible cryptography. all of that actually was made by our great friend and cryptographer Igor Gulamov. So if you have any questions, he can easily answer to it. So let's just briefly explain how it works. We need to store proofs of how we store. Actually, we store outputs of users in sparse Merkle tree on the smart contract. We store only Merkle root hash there. And each time when you make transaction, you need to specify outputs how you send transaction to it. It's like Plasma-like style, actually. And we use just Snark for that. So in private data of Snark, we use UTXO Merkle proof and UTXO details. It's just private data that comes to Snark. And also we have public data. It's some data about nullifiers, root hash of tree, asset ID if it's transfer or deposit. Or if it's deposit or withdrawal. And actually, the same Snark proof have public and private data too. It's a bunch of data. All of that is on GitHub right now. And how it works, basically, we just send Snark proof with public inputs to the smart contract. Smart contract just verify this proof. After that, it means create new root hash on the tree. And also, it gives us outputs that we can use to the next transaction. So let's just show a small demo. Actually, I just want to add that actually we use relayers. We don't, there is a big problem how to execute transactions directly on smart contract. And for that, we use relayers. This is just some example how we make it. Right now we have simple relayer on the main chain, on one chain, but actually we can use multi-chain relayer for that. We can execute transactions, we can send a small amount of second layer chain money to relayer, and this relayer will execute transactions on the main chain for us. It's much more harder to track your transactions with multi-chain architecture. So let's just show a small demo.
Oh, sorry. Will you connect my laptop or with yours? Okay. Actually, yeah. Here our solution, but here first we need to upload preset for snarks, which is this crazy size. And initially we thought, okay, we will do Chrome extension for this. But then there is the problems with WebAssembly build, especially for Chrome extensions. So this will take up to 2 minutes. So we can just speed up this record, right? Yes. Go please to about 40 minutes mark. Sorry, 40 seconds mark, not minutes. 40 seconds, yeah. I just want to show how we start this process. Okay, anyway, here you see, let's go back. Once we press deposit, it was we choose amount assets. Here's again, WebAssembly workers that now generate Snark proof that we're gonna send to a smart contract. Actually, here it is. So can you just a few seconds more? Okay. Here, we have this, we signed this send transaction to Kovan mainnet. Here's actually was our encrypted UTXOs. First array is in public inputs of a Snark, and here is encrypted UTXO. So then we send this, we wait for a couple, 50 seconds to be proceeded on the mainnet. Just, yeah, you can go further. Yeah, in general, yeah, here, all our generated Snark data from this web page is now loaded to Kovan mainnet, sorry, testnet. Yeah, and here we are, here is the process of deposit. Also, we debug, design atomic swaps during this hackathon, but we don't put it in front end yet, but the test is ready. Yeah, the question for maybe Nick and...
I just want to add that actually we concentrated on Snarks and cryptography, so we have all console tests that allows you to make atomic swaps. We just fuck up with front end side and with UI side, but we just need a bit amount of time to implement it. It's not the hardest part of this of our project. And we just concentrated on cryptography and Snark side during this hackathon.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Pretty classic. That was cool. Privacy is good. And also classic concentrating on the back end. You can't really do the front end. So with that, let's welcome ETHBoston to the stage. Woo!
Hello. So we are ETHBoston, actually.
Oh,
it's okay. My name is Raymond Pulver. I'm the guy that brought you IDEX, and if you're at ETH NYC ExitDAO, it's my partner Ivan, Prismatic Labs. Yep. And we have created an assembler today that has a JavaScript API, and we're going to try to explain as fast as we can why we would do this. So the point of this is because you can actually use this to create ETH call queries to spoof like you are a contract constructor and use it to call as many contracts as you need and do the most complicated query imaginable in a single transaction executed on your RPC, which could be in Fura or whatever you need, is to fetch data as fast as possible and render it in a way that doesn't require you launching a new view layer or anything like that. You can just exploit the existing viewable functions on an existing contract and assemble the most efficient query to get as much data as possible within Infuria's limits or whatever you're using.
Yeah, sure. So to just explain simply, we've using what he's made called ETHBoston we've used arbitrary bytecode execution to pretty much get them a crap ton of data in as simple of a call as possible. And we're using this to check through MakerDAO, Compound's liquidation systems in order to find who we can liquidate faster than Compound's own API. 5 times faster right now, but there's still some optimizations to be done. Yeah, it's hard to read from.
We're going to have an issue demoing this because actually all we have to demo is really code and CLI tools. So we're going to make it as big as possible. We have this problem at ExitDAO too. All right.
Sorry about that.
Tell them we're launching our script to show how fast we can get the list.
So we are going to run a script that will get us the list of addresses that we can liquidate off of Compound.
And while this runs, I'm going to show you a sample of what the AST looks like that can run the most basic example, which just is a script that will loop over. Hopefully that's big enough for anybody to see. But this is just a short AST. It's a nested list structure, and the point of that is so you can just generate macros that are just JavaScript functions that generate snippets of assembly, so you can inline everything you need to do in your ETH call. This is literally going to use Infura to calculate, just add 2 on the top to the number on the top of the stack until it's over 10, and then return that value. So at this point, you can use Infura as your own personal computer, but Infura might get mad at this, and they might go paid even faster. So we encourage you to use this for good and not evil. All right, check out the script. I think we're almost out of time. All right, so it's about halfway done running. So we get it finished about 2 minutes over Infura. So when it's querying about 8,000 addresses and packing into as much call data as it will allow us. But just while this is going, the whole point of this is for me to educate everybody that the trick here is that all you have to do with the ETH call, RPC call, is omit the two part field, same as you do when you're launching a new contract to send transaction. And then your call data is actually interpreted entirely different by an Ethereum node. You actually get arbitrary opcode execution. And the reason this is nice to do in assembly is because you have a much easier way to write a constructor that doesn't just return the runtime code, which is how a contract constructor works. There are other ways to do it, but they're overly complicated and also much less efficient. We shouldn't finish. Yeah, we shouldn't. At this point, I think everybody's gotten enough of the point. We run a crypto server, a Discord server called Crypto Devs. We're going to post a link in the Discord here, and come meet us. I'm Flex. This is Kiwi. We'll talk about this all day. Woo!
Thank you, Flex and Kiwi. Okay, so up next we have Vitus Match. Let's welcome Vitus Match to the stage. Woo!
Hey everybody, hope everyone's having fun. My name is Robert Miller. I do advisory and product work for Consensus Health. We sort of took a different take than the other projects you've seen today. We started with a particular problem in healthcare and life sciences that we're passionate about and wanted to see how we can take these new tools that we have in the blockchain space and associated privacy-preserving technologies and solve an old problem in a new way. So what our project was is connecting patients with researchers and speeding up numericals using NuCypher and SquareLink. And to that end, the problem that we're solving is that 5% of cancer patients are enrolled in clinical trials. 80% of trials do not meet their enrollment timelines. This is super expensive. It costs $8 million per day in lost future revenue. It's really difficult to tell if you're a patient, if you qualify for a clinical trial, but it's a lot easier if you have access to the right data. Current solutions are super siloed, put a lot of burden on the patient. And we wanted to enable people to share their data in a more secure way so that people could get matched to the right trials, get the right medicine they needed, and researchers could focus on their work of creating new cures and treatments. And to that end, what we did was we integrated with OneUp Health's API, which allows us to access up to 90% of the health systems in the United States health information with your consent. We created a UI for users to log in, request their data, share it with researchers, get paid for that. We integrated SquareLink for a seamless Web3 experience. We used NuCypher's, this is where the magic is. We used NuCypher's proxy re-encryption scheme to let someone share their data with multiple researchers with really fine, granular, time-limited basis access to that data. And it even works if the patient is no longer attending to that information. And a basic way for patients to monetize their health information in exchange for Ethereum. And finally, we demonstrated how a malicious researcher who shouldn't have access to data wouldn't be able to get access to that data if they tried to. And so like a quick 1-minute demo for you.
Yeah, so the patients are going to come to our application, and this is actually a D app, but we don't expect the patient to know how Web3 works and how public key management works. So we integrated SquareLink. All patients needs to know is their email address, and we take care of their public keys. And patients can sign in, and patients will be asked to share their email address and Ethereum public address so that we can encrypt their healthcare data with their public key. After the patient has confirmed that they want to share their email address, patient would be sent an email with a link. That's their login link, because we don't want patient to remember one more username and password just to access our website. We want to make the experience as easy as possible. And after patient pastes this link in the web browser, they are logged into our website and they can see their healthcare data. Yep. So this is the entire EHR data of this patient. All the information is coming in. This data is actually stored on IPFS after encrypting it using NuCypher. And if the patient decides to share this data with medical researchers or clinical trials, they can do that by clicking on this link. And after clicking on this link, patients can see various researches and clinical trials going on. Each of these clinical trials will be offering certain amount of ETH to patients for sharing the medical data. Once the patient clicks on one of these research studies going on, what happens is we take the data, we re-encrypt it again with the researcher's public key. So, for example, if a patient decides to do that with the first researcher, then these two researchers cannot make sense out of the data because you would need the researcher's private key or the patient's private key.
So the cool thing that we did here is we used NuCypher's proxy re-encryption scheme in order to manage access to the patient's data, and we integrated with smart contracts such that people can get paid for sharing their information with researchers. This is the output of our scripts. Don't have the time to demo the whole thing for you. You can see how we successfully shared it with 2 researchers that the patient consented to and blocked 1 person who shouldn't have access from getting access to that data. And thank you for your time today.
Woo! Thank you. Okay, so just leave this here. One note, by the way, is So let's bring out a non-hero to stage. Woohoo! And as they get set up, someone found a phone under a thing. So if you've lost your phone, oh, great, perfect.
So I need to switch screens, don't I?
We're going to do a classic, yeah. Go into system pref. Here. It's up there.
Check, check.
There's system preferences up.
Left side.
Display. Where's this? I can't really see.
Displays on the far left. Yep, perfect. And then mirror that arrangement. Mirror display. Or, yeah, I would do mirror display.
Mirror display. You can't see this. One, two, three.
Yeah. So now we're over here. Sweet.
This works as well. That didn't work either.
There we go. Sweet. Cool.
Hey everyone, we're a non-hero. We created a way for people to create community around events happening in real time. We think of the events in Hong Kong right now as a good example of our use case, and now let's dig in. So we're logging in with tourists, easy, seamless user experience. This is me if you want to send me an email.
So while that's loading, we're going to tell you a little bit about the use case and the idea that we had. So this weekend we came into ETHBoston, and we were super impressed with all the technology that we were introduced to. Actually, we really didn't think that we could do as much with Ethereum as we've ever done before until coming into this weekend. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to use some of that interesting technology, specifically privacy, side chains. We wanted to utilize some of the machine learning. Sorry, I'm blanking right now. So privacy, side chains, machine learning. And we wanted to utilize some of these things in a novel idea, a novel application. And that's where we started thinking about a non-hero. A non-hero is basically an application that is kind of near and dear to our hearts, especially being young people who are always part of a social group and trying to be part of social events. We want to participate, but sometimes we don't want our activities to kind of come back and affect our work life or our home life. So we want to participate anonymously. We want to support things anonymously. And what we want to do is we want to come together and create some technology that enabled us to do that. And that's what we have here.
So I'm going to set my location. It seems simple, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, so as Jason said, that we're trying to create an anonymous sort of event for people to join. So how this works is, he pressed the button to verify his location, and how this works is we set a pinpoint where the event is and a geofence of whether they're in the area or whether they're not, and we save that data, and I'll give it to you, Anthony, to describe what we do with that.
Before that, I'm gonna start rapping, so just no. I'm joking. Privacy is really important. If I started rapping right now, it might come back to haunt me at some time. So privacy is extremely important. You're gonna go out and you're gonna protest against Hootie the Blowfish or something like that, and you're gonna say, "Hey, I don't want this to come back to work," and I'll get fired. So Ethereum, a lot about Ethereum is privacy. Privacy for what? It's mostly for assets. It's not for people. In order to have a decentralized future, we need to be private as individuals so we can keep our sovereignty. That's why secret ballots exist, right? So you can make a choice and not have the choices come back to effect in the future. So we used Enigma to allow for this privacy feature to take place.
So I'm at this protest. I see something interesting. I take a picture, and I want to add the image to the community feed. Adding to the feed, I'm uploading to scale, and then executing a transaction with Taurus that should show up momentarily. And I can see the other people who are contributing to this feed, where they're posting what they're seeing, and they're building a community around something without really disclosing who they are. And I confirm that transaction and pass it over back to Jason.
So what we've done here is we've really enabled our community to participate without providing our information, personal information. We're able to do proof of location because we're able to store that location data on chain. We're also able to validate the images and content that we're taking at these locations. So what we did was we utilized Scaled pretty much for our entire process. We use their EVM, we use their storage, and then we also use their machine learning component. We trained a machine learning algorithm that basically analyzed our picture that we sent into Scaled and checked it to find out if it was a building, and then sent us back a true or false if it was. In our case, it was a true. You could think about that and think about utilizing that technology a little bit more. If we had, for example, much more information in that algorithm, we could really start validating things at a much higher rate. So we just wanted to kind of showcase that element. So throughout this weekend, we were able to use 4 components. We worked on Enigma. We used the TELUS authentication, as well as Scaled, and two components of Scaled. Yeah.
And Karas for the machine learning model.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, and anonymity. So our final finalist is Swandai. So let's welcome Swandai to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Is this on? Here we go. Here we go. This was a lot of fun. Like, less sleep the better, Delusional. Okay. Are we good? Okay. All right. So, I'm Will. He's Will. He's Will. We met on Friday. We did it for the meme. All right. We made Swandai. So Swandai is a synthetic asset that tracks the deviation of DAI's price from its dollar peg. Taking a long position on Swandai can result in a massive payoff in the case of a black swan event. So companies that rely on DAI, for example, like a payroll company that issues DAI payments, they can hedge against death spiral in DAI and remain solvent even if everything else goes under. Also, speculators betting on instability in the crypto markets and DeFi or stablecoin naysayers can put their money where their mouth is and show us we're wrong. Yeah, so we used UMA to build our Swandai token. Worked pretty nicely, and we spend most of our time doing a lot of financial engineering to make sure that this was a good asset to invest in, and Will here can explain more on that.
Yeah, so basically we were focused on 2 things. We were focused on getting peak convexity, if you were right, hence the exponential curve and memeability. So we focus on 2 things. We focus on the 13% threshold, which is where when the peg is above by 13%, then that's an important moment because default becomes preferable to actually paying back a loan in the maker system. And so at 13%, it's roughly 2x return. And then where we break out at the top is at 100x, which is 50% away from the peg. So that's like a full break of the peg. And so we were considering the different factors of the maker system, and also global settlement is a potential. So we thought that if global settlement happens, that would potentially disrupt this. So we want people to be able to benefit off of that before global settlement does what it does.
So we ran some simulations using data from the Coinbase DAI USDC API to get historical volatility of log returns and project DAI price forward into the future. Using DAI price, we're able to get a simulated price for our Swan DAI token. And as you can see, the return distribution is exponentially decaying. So if you think that the tail of the true distribution is fatter than is shown here, then you might be willing to pay the premium associated with buying a Swan DAI token. And we'll quickly do our Web3 demo.
Yeah, so we just have a very simple dashboard here. We already have a token facility set up for the UMA synthetic asset. And after you approve a token transfer, once that goes through, you can confirm the actual transaction, which will then transfer Swan DAI to your address. And once that goes through, you can see your long position in Swan DAI will increase. And then once the Swan DAI gets settled, then you can cash out. But yeah, so just refresh the page, and you'll see it there. And that's Swan DAI. Thank you, thank you. Talib your heart out.
Ooh.
Swan DAI.
Swan DAI. Thank you, Will, and Will. So with that, let's give them all one final round of applause. Okay, so up next, and seriously, all of that was cool. Visualizations are sweet. I have lost this. So we're going to, in addition to all of those all of the general winners, we also had a bunch of sponsor winners and sponsor prizes. And so to do that, we're going to bring up each of the sponsors. If you're a sponsor, all the sponsors, if you are giving out a prize, walk over here if you're not already over here. Yes, thank you. Run, good job. And what's going to happen is when your sponsor logo is up here, you will speak about it. And as a note for all the sponsors, you're going to get like 30 seconds. So be pretty quick. Say, hey, here's this team won this prize, this team won this prize. Thank you all for supporting, whatever. And then just give the mic to the next person. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay, so first up, this is actually my job. New Cypher had to leave. They went away. They went to on a train. And the people from New Cypher, it was Vitus Match, who was up here, and Tornado Cash with $1,250 each. Okay, and so now let's go Taxa. Here you go.
All right, so the most compelling project building on Taxa network today will be ETHTorrent. Give them some love, we really love them. They are building, they are building a BT download infrastructure and using Taxa network to build a highly secure and private seeding and downloading. We really love that idea. And also there are other excellent projects that using Taxa network completing their product shipping and completed their demo, such as Lobster Auction and Prisoner Dilemma, and also Bankshare. They will receive our completion reward.
Woo! Thank you. Okay, up next is Scale.
All right. Nice work, everybody. Good weekend. Okay, here we go. We've got 6 winners. So the 4 500 DAI winners, the first one goes to a zero knowledge proof multi-asset pool to Zero Pool.
Yeah.
Number 2 is a multifunctional mixer for ERC20 tokens, goes to Mix ETH.
Woo.
Crypto payments for older adults with disabilities goes to?
Great name, by the way. Coins. Able Coins.
Nice.
And a P2P marketplace for lending and borrowing of real-world assets goes to?
Stackable.
In the two 1,000 die winners, the first one goes to fantasy football using skill chains.
So I love another great name, Fantasy Football.
And the final 1,000 die winner goes to telling the story and proving it happened.
And that goes to a non-hero.
Thank you. Okay, it's my job again because Seller has taken the train/plane home, and their award goes to Minor Adventure for $1,000. Woo! Okay, UMA, you're next.
Hey guys, Hart from UMA, Universal Market Access. We were here with the most creative use of synthetic assets using our synthetic token builder, which is something we just quietly put out and we'll actually announcing next week. We had 6 amazing projects building off us, including amazing tokens to track Bitcoin dominance or altcoin dominance, tokens to actually create ways to hedge your interest rate exposure on Compound. I think this weekend we actually saw 3 different ways to create yield curves on Ethereum, and that's something on like Twitter we're going to be talking a lot about. So anyone interested in yield curves on Twitter, look out for that. But we think the most creative use goes to the Swandai team, Will, and Will, for their excellent combination of analytics, machine learning, data science, and cool financial engineering. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Hart. Woo. Okay, Off-Chain Labs, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ed from Off-Chain Labs. We have won API prize for the best use of our Arbitrum channels technology. And what we really liked about this winner was the way that they integrated our technology with Taurus and with Taxa. And we were really thrilled with how smoothly that integration went. Our winner is the descriptively named Fancy Lobster Auction.
Woo. Okay, Consensus, you're up next.
Hey, it's Joanna here from the Consensus, specifically Consensus Grants. So our prize was for the best in show under the Consensus Grants categories, and it goes to referendum.
Woo!
And just to let you know that our Wave 2 is closing on Tuesday. If anyone wants to apply for Consensus Grants, please do so by Tuesday. Bye.
Nice. Sweet. Enigma, you're up next.
So we only had one prize, so it was hard to pick, but today I went to Enable, who built a tool for being able to log on to your Ethereum account while not having access to your hardware key or other MetaMask or anything like that. So that was really useful and could be extrapolated to other projects easily, which is why we thought it was exciting.
Yeah. Okay, Coinbase, you're up next.
Hello, everybody. Coinbase Commerce offered an award for the most interesting use of our API, and the award goes to Godakoro for using a very nifty way of connecting Coinbase Commerce with DAI that essentially kind of like is like a charity that multisig that controls. So all the payments that get accepted from Coinbase Commerce get to this like multisig contract that earns interest on the funds that it gets. So just kind of like combining the different pieces that different companies put out there and like getting like something very cool like endowment that earns interest is like a pretty cool thing to see out there. So congratulations.
Woo! Yeah. Okay, Rivet.
All right, hi, I'm Austin from Rivet. We had a prize for the best use of Rivet's APIs, and you guys already got to see the vending machine over here earlier today. We actually got to see it work. I hope you guys did too. They had it up and running for a while. It was really neat. But not only was Vendeeth a really cool project, it was using the Rivet APIs in order to connect to the blockchain. We have RPC services, WebSocket services, and they were using those to connect. So they will be receiving 100 million free RPC requests on the Rivet network.
Woo! That's a lot of requests. Okay, Aztec, you're up next. Oh, you take that.
Hi everyone, so I'm from Aztec. We had a really great weekend, saw some really cool projects, and we decided to award 2 prizes in the end. So the first one is for HushKey, so congratulations HushKey.
Woo!
They built a custodial wallet that integrated Aztec payments, so confidential payments. And then secondly, we're awarding our second prize to Aztec Keeper. So congratulations Aztec Keeper. And they implemented private payments over long-range mesh networks, which kind of like relay transactions over radio waves. So yeah, congrats everyone, and good to see the projects.
Thank you. Okay, Algorand, you're up next.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Evan from Algorand. Our prize went to someone we felt had the most compelling project. And for embodying the cryptocurrency ethos, empowering disempowered workers, and breaking up the middleman of current financial systems, the Algorand Prize goes to Trucker Nation.
Woo.
Thank you.
Hi guys, Zen from Taurus here. Thanks to all the over 20 projects integrated Taurus. Unfortunately, we only have 5 prizes to give out today. The prize for the best dApp goes to Shine, which implemented Taurus with gas abstractions and diffuse APIs to provide like up-to-date updates on Ethereum. Our next prize goes to a fantastic creative design prize. It goes to CredDAO, who implemented Taurus with Aragon and then pegged GitHub accounts to Google accounts and then to public keys. The next one goes to Anon Hero, who implemented Taurus with Scale for excellent user experience. The next one goes to Skip ID, which best fulfills an industry need. Basically, I can use them instead of getting carded at bars. The last but not least goes to Fancy Lobster Auction, who implemented Taxa, as well as with Off-Chain Labs for scalability and an awesome onboarding experience.
Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm Myungin from SquareLink. So we're going to do something that hasn't been done here. I don't know if that's ever been done in any hackathon, but we're going to award all 3 of our bounties to the same team. And we think this team exemplified the things that we were awarding, which is the most innovative use case, the best user experience, and the most complete integration of our API. It's really cool because we saw this application that I think is really commonplace to a certain extent, so you couldn't think about it as an innovative thing, but it's hugely used across hackathons all over the world and in other use cases. You guys will know what it is in a hot second. And also just throughout the whole demo, I couldn't tell that it was a decentralized experience, which is kind of what we're trying to bring to the market. So congratulations to Anish from SquareSign for winning all 3 of our bounties. Oh, and we'll be working on it personally over the next 3 days and launching it with our site officially, so you guys can all go and check it out. And Hack Harvard, Hack MIT should actually be using it this coming year. So,
Thank you. All right, Provable. Hello, I'm Greg from Provable Things, and we're actually going to do the opposite. We're not going to award everything to the same person, but we've got 5K of credits on our mainnet system available, and instead of trying to pick between all the projects that I've actually been helping out with, we are spreading it out amongst anybody who used our API at this event. So you all know who you are because you've all chatted to me at some point, and I've got contact details for all of you. CDRW, wherever you are around, are the easiest one for me to remember. But yes, I've got contact details. We're all in touch, so we're trying to help all developers that we can. Whoever's using our API, you all win.
Yay! Okay, let's give everybody one more big round of applause. As they walk back, I just want to note, I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, ETH, Kartik may talk about this in a bit, but ETH Waterloo was at the first ETH Global event was at the end of 2017, like November 2017. Beginning of 2018 was ETH Denver, my first ETH Global event, and just seeing each new event I go to, it's really crazy to see all of the different things that people are building on top of these platforms. And 20 different prizes there for a bunch of different projects. It's really interesting. So with that much said, I'm going to go through and give all the sponsors one more big round of applause. So hold your applause. Hold your applause until the end. And so I'm going to do the thing I did at the beginning where I talk through all of them. So thank you, Scale, NewCypher, Thundercore, SquareLink, IDEO Collab, Taxa, Off-Chain Labs, UMA, aka UMA, Algorand, Oasis Labs, MyEther Wallet, Enigma, Consensus, Coinbase, Taurus, ENS, Seller, Quorum, Provable, Binance, Accomplice, Aztec, Rivet, SIA, Saya, Abridged, Foam, and Blockchain Education Network. And we have partners for ETH Global generally, Ethereum Foundation, UNICEF, ENS, Matic, Scale, Taurus, Provable, Thundercore, ZeroX, Consensus, Offchain Labs, New Cipher, and the Bounties Network. One more round of applause for everybody. If you made money or ate food or enjoyed yourself, it is from those people this weekend. So before I pass it over to Kartik, I just want to give, so I live in Boston these days, and the Boston team, I guess it was maybe 11 months ago at DevCon and then some initial calls at the beginning, they've worked really, really, really hard on this event. So let's give them one big round of applause. Super awesome. And because Kartik won't be able to do this for himself, let's just give ETH Global a big round of applause as well. Woo! And with that, here's Kartik and Andrew.
Thanks, Reese. I was actually coming up here to thank you and everybody else. Thank you so much for being with us here. I am no longer able to form proper sentences, so I'll try to finish this as fast as I can. A quick request that I have for everybody is we'll make you clap a lot more for the next 60 seconds, and then we'll kind of end it. So a lot of work goes into running events like these, and I want to just take some time and thank everybody that actually made this possible. These are, you guys see, everybody here just sees the 2.5 days worth of experiences, but this has been going on for about 11 or so months, as Reese pointed out. We started talking about doing ETHBoston last September, and here we are now with a final product that you get to see as an experience. And I want to make sure that everybody who helped out is recognized, and we're all proud of it. So with that, is this working too? Can we get... Hello?
Hello.
Okay. So with that.
Yeah, just build on what Kartik said. So much work goes into this event. There are a lot of people you don't see. I want to personally thank, and as a team, ETH Global, to thank some of the key organizers: Shamir, Justin, Dan, Mansi, Corbin, Myungin, Katie, Daniel, John, Nick, Emily, Lindsay, and Christine. They have been working for months and months on this event. They're based here, and a lot of the credit to this event goes to them. And these are also our volunteers, people who've given up their weekend to clean things up and move boxes and hang things on walls and just help in general. So please, a big round of applause for our volunteers.
And of course, the folks that did all the hard work of filtering through and looking at the demos today, our judges, they all went through 2 demos. So every team presented twice to a new set of judges, and they were able to sort of take out all of their morning and afternoon to pick the projects that we saw here today on stage. So I want to thank Emily, Robbie, Peter, Rick, Raul, Joyce, Ken, Mahesh, Christopher, and Ethan, Ashen, and Spencer for kind of spending all of their weekend with us. And without this, we would not have the Finalist project, so please thank our judges. And of course, the speakers, the mentors, our sponsors, the custodial staff and security staff, the AV crew, the university for letting us host this event, and a big round of applause for Reese, our MC. So, oh yeah, and there's 6 of us that run ETH Global and kind of help out with all the events. So I want to personally thank Andrew, Heather, Jacob, Josh, Liam from the ETH Global team for putting in all the effort with everybody else here to make these events possible. Big round of applause for ETH Global. So back to 6 people presented, 6 teams presented on stage, and we saw the bounties being given out from the sponsors. But the real unique thing about these events is that if you've been to one of these before, you already know what I'm going to say because I repeat the same thing. But these are not competitions. This is not a place for you to kind of game or win a specific thing or solve a particular problem. These are about kind of how do we actually maximize experimentation and increase creativity and also support you from a technical standpoint to actually get better at making more projects on Web3. So as a result, we actually don't have first, second, third place winners. The way we decide all these events is that the judges that kind of bubble up the top 6 teams, they become our winners. Everybody is treated as first. I know Pruvit will set this thing, but all 6 of them are actually first here. And as a result, everybody on that team gets $500 in ETH or DAI, and this is the first prize. So congratulations to everybody who presented on stage. And with that, I will, oh, this is almost F4. I'm going to make sure we end in 60 seconds. Okay, Reese, what's up?
One final note before you say your final thing is also for those of you who are from the Boston blockchain area, I just want to say to note mainly that all of the Boston blockchain folks that are here will be on the Discord and you can reach out to them. And if you want to look up, just go to the meetup page. There's Boston Ethereum developers, there's a Boston BitDevs meetup, there's a Women in Blockchain meetup. So check out all those if you're around the Boston area.
It was really important. This is about actually increasing the size of the community here. So, 2 quick things. Simple request. Keep building on what you started this weekend and then continue working on it starting tomorrow. The real progress is you not abandoning the projects at 4 o'clock. It's really important for us to see progress. This is how you understand how we actually make things easier for us to use as developer tools or as utilities or user experiences. And this is what matters, being able to keep on building so we can understand what to fix. So with that, this would not be an ETH Global closing ceremony if we don't announce the next event. And I'm proud to announce that this is our last event for 2019. This is where everything started 2 years ago. And we can't wait to do ETH Waterloo again on November 8th. So the applications are open, the website's live, you can go to ethwaterloo.com. And if you're interested in attending this one, this is going to be big because we are going to do a massive review of this ecosystem and what's changing 2 years from now. And I kind of promised that on stage, and the team doesn't know about this. So we'll see how that goes. So with that, I want to thank everybody for being here. We do have an after party that starts just about now. It's a 2-minute walk. It says 3, but you can walk faster to Cambridge Queens Head Pub. The quick note on this is, as you go in, there will be an ID check if you want the drink tickets. So if you are planning on, you just have to kind of go through the process, and with the ID check, you will be given 2 drink tickets. But even, I will stop talking. It's 4. Thank you, everybody. See you in Waterloo.